Hey guys, I'm going to have a look at another Battlemaster build. The one I've got now is a bit of a long-range specialist and just a small amount of close-up weapons. I've been fiddling around with, I guess, trying to get that balance between being a long-range threat and doing most of your damage from a distance rather than getting up close. And I had heat trouble with, first I was trying just using a large laser as a backup weapon for smaller enemies, and I found it much easier to use medium lasers. So I'll just show you what I've got here. This is the 1GHE, so it's obviously the hero variant, just mainly because it's got more hard points. It's got those two missile hard points. So it's a fairly simple setup. I've got a lot of ammo. I think I've got over 1,000 rounds. Can't quite see all of it down the bottom here for some reason, but I've got these quite high damage medium lasers, even though they're only tier 1. They are 7.25 damage, and the heat is not too bad for the damage output, I don't think. I was using one of these ones, the L laser, just to really pick off the smaller targets from a distance before they get in close. But really, they don't do that much damage unless there's lots and lots of them, which makes this sort of one laser variant a bit of an issue. Mainly because the damage per second is 2.34 versus these, which is 1.26, and I have 4 of them, so I've got quite a lot more damage output potential, and obviously I can manage the heat a lot better if there's 4 of them. The only issue is the optimal range is 270 meters versus 627 for the large laser. But generally, I've been doing better with the 4 small lasers and sequencing them just so I can scroll through just 1, 2, 3, 4, or hit them all at once. And obviously I'm just chain firing the 2 missiles to save ammo. So I've played with this setup quite a lot. It's for those who are professionals at this. I'm not. I've played a lot of the earlier MechWarrior games and haven't really played much online, mainly just due to time constraints and not being very good at it. But I've always loved the MechWarrior games, and I've added a couple of mods, obviously, more weapons, because I feel like the vanilla MechWarrior 4 really doesn't have the variation that the earlier MechWarrior games had, and there's lots of different variations out there. I've just found one that just adds more. Mainly it has the medium range lasers, long range lasers, long range pulse lasers, etc., etc. Lots of different Gauss rifles, things like that. So I found obviously for tonnage, I've had to drop it down to the LRM 15, and so obviously an output of 35 missiles all at once, and quite a big damage output. So it's over 60 points of damage in one go. Obviously, it's not that accurate, but it's very very effective, and my heat isn't a problem. I've only got the 3 double heat sinks, and in the event that I do run out of ammo, which can happen in a longer mission, I still have the 4 medium lasers, and I found it quite useful to actually use this little trick that enables you to sneak up on the mech and hit them from behind when they're distracted by your lance mates. So I've just got a Warzone mission. It's part of the level 9 or something like that. So it's not big tonnage. Obviously, I've got 2 assault mechs and just a blackjack with a few lasers, and Kintaro, which obviously for the size is quite a big output of damage. So he's got an LRM laser, and then a couple of hard points full of LRMs. So it's pretty clear what the strategy will be with all these weapon variants. Basically, get them from a distance. So I'll try and place these guys in a spot where we'll be able to make the most of that. and you know, generally putting them on a high plane and figuring out where the drops are going to be is really important. So I have enjoyed the Battlemaster quite a lot. I find it to be a very good all-round mech. This one itself has a lot of hard points, so it's quite good to use. And yeah, it's just a good mech. It's fast, 64 kilometers an hour. And I do like the fast mechs. Not a big fan of the really slow mechs, unfortunately. Just figuring out where to place myself. Okay, so these are small mechs, so we'll just see how we go. I might just place the lance mates. So pretty clear, it's a powerful output for a Battlemaster. So I might put them conspicuously on the hill here and see what happens. Okay, we'll just place them on the hill, and still got 2 mechs to take out. So we'll just make sure. I have the zoom mod as well. It's very useful, and obviously helps with long range weapons. I think I turned the target off just too quickly then. So yeah, I've already used quite a lot of ammo, and I've got 1500 left. So for a long battle, it should be enough if I'm smart with it. And sometimes just letting the lance mates do some of the damage, like instead of rushing against the clock. You're time's kind of on your side when you're you know, playing from a distance in a way. Like these guys aren't running towards because there's distractions over here. Alright, so I need to go in and trigger the spawn. So I might just get rid of some of these walls here if I can with the medium lasers. So it'll take a while. I'll just run through them just to help with shooting the enemies if they do land in the middle of this spot. Okay, so where are they going to land? Okay. So that's quite good. They're going to land over here. My lance mates are spread out over here, so that will work well. And I could even use the base to hide myself, but just to play it safe, I'm going to put myself up on the rise here as well. And you can see they're already starting to play around with the targets. What have we got? Cicada, greatest AI mech. They seem to appear in every single mission, and some mechs you never see at all. It's a bit strange. Right, so he's trying to get in nice and close. Let's maximize. Alright, so those medium lasers really helps then. Alright, who's this? A Javelin. He's going to get in close as well. He's got 2 lots of SRM, so he's helpless until he gets in nice and close. So put in quite a lot of. I'll just do one more lot. Just there we go. So sequencing those, stream firing those missiles is a good way to conserve. So what have we got now? These are just small targets. I think we just. I've got the sound down quite a way. Did I see another enemy over here? Okay, so we've got a Scorpion tank and a Phoenix Hawk. Oh, okay. So that's not ideal. What I can do is just see how they go. They do have close-up armaments. So, okay, so we've made him almost useless. He's got a machine gun. He's useless. And I'm going to take these guys. Okay, so I could take him out. So he's pointless, like he's got no damage capability right now. So even though they landed quite close, they're small mechs, and I've got enough to keep us going. So he's still going, mate. Okay. Let's see where the next lot lands, and I might move my mechs if they land close by. Alright, where are we facing? Okay. What do we got? Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. You're not behind me? Okay. So you do have to place your lance mates, kind of spread them out a little bit, because they will shoot each other. They'll shoot through the ground, so it's good to put them up on a high vantage point as well. So those medium lasers are quite damaging. You just push through them very quickly, and you have yourself a pretty good damage per second rate. One more of those, and then we'll just... Okay, I can get... Here we go. So I should be taking out that tank, but I'm just testing out the weapons, and I'm not too concerned about our amount of damage we're taking as far as surviving the mission. I'm a bit annoyed the lance mates are so slow with their damage output. Okay, so obviously my heat's up way too high. I might just move away a little bit and give him some LRM goodness, and then maybe a couple more lasers. There we go. Hopefully he doesn't go critical in between all of my lance mates. Okay, here comes the next drop ship. Okay, so we got some bigger mechs now. So big and slow. Hopefully my boys can, and girls, can take them out. So they're behind that hill there. So as soon as they activate, hopefully we'll have some death. I'll put myself right on the peak here. So 1200 meters. Pretty sure. Might just wait for line of sight. So we've got a cicada. I think it's a rifleman. The middle section on the rifleman seems incredibly weak. Part of this is being patient, I find. Found if I just run straight in and getting close, it tends to ruin my chances of minimizing damage. And just putting a few payloads in to the smaller ones on their way in. I'd love for him to... See, I can see him. He's 1,000 meters away. Alright, put another couple into him. Oops. That was silly. So they're sort of stuck in the rocks. So, right, this one I want to give him rid of Lovin. So they're at maximum range, and these guys can't even... Ooh, target went off them. I've still got him. Alright, who are you? What are you doing? No, it's not you firing at me. So they're kind of hovering on that outer edge. My lance mates are sending some volleys to them. Take a bit off the hunchback as well. So you're just sort of picking them apart, really. It's for some reason they're stuck there. Oh, they're getting in closer now, but really, we've got one more left, and most of us are pretty well unscathed. So the beauty of the bigger mechs is that they're so slow, you get plenty of time to unleash on them. By the time they arrive, they're pretty well dead anyway. There we go. So that was a pretty smooth mission, really. I think I'll just leave it at that. 1100 meters. It's always fun. Oh, and and the dropship right in front of where we need to go. So, oh well, let's do it. I'll just place my lance mates. As I was saying, I've got 530 rounds left. These guys are still a fair way away. I could make it to the ship, but you got to love the some of the drops. I had to do a big wide berth on some of the mechs in one. I had a heat management issue. I was trying a variant that just did not work at all, and I had to end up walking around some hills and basically using it as cover and using my lance mates as a decoy, because I was going to die basically. I had to make it back to this drop ship, and it was the same situation. There was a enemy lance dropped right in the middle of where I needed to go. It was quite a hairy experience, but you know, that's the way it goes. Ooh, airborne. Okay, we got one more left, one more hunchback, and 245 left. So I might as well just give him all of my loving. So I'm dropping 35 at a time on him. They're quite tough, the hunchbacks, with their armor. I don't know their official amounts, but they are quite tough. They can handle a lot of damage. Obviously medium lasers is all he's got, and one AC-10, which is quite powerful. Not sure where that is on his body. He's actually giving quite a lot of output. There we go. Okay, so that's that. So unfortunately this mission I didn't get a lot of salvage points for some reason, but I do enjoy the Warzone missions. Just for the fun factor, you just get to take out a lot of mechs. I also turned on the permanent limp. It's ridiculous to permanently damage the legs of a mech and end up having them just repair on the field. Like, what's the point of taking out their legs? Anyway, I'll leave it there, and hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, just another variant of the classic Battlemaster. Okay, I'll see you later.